on to this call every morning, and you're going to hear some phenomenal stories. You're going to hear about some great things that are happening throughout Team Effort International. Every time we come together, whether it's at a big event, whether it's a conference call, whether it's team training, whether it's just to share the vitamin sprays or the video tools, you're going to hear something that's just going to prompt your heart and make you realize that you are in the right place at the right time with the right people and with the right company. And we are so grateful, as you heard many times before, you sometimes have to choose the vehicle. What vehicle are you going to choose to get you to where you need to go? And we have chosen Team Effort Network as that vehicle to get us where we need to go. And as Mel Gill said at the big event, sometimes you're going to hear things that's going around, but what do you do? Remember what he said to do with your shoulder when you hear certain things roaming around? He said, what? Just brush it off your shoulder, right? And keep right on going, because it's exactly where we're going. You stay focused on your goal. You stay focused on where you're going, and you're going to make it. We have a wonderful support team. We have training that's in line. We get everybody trained, equipped. TTT parties are popping up from the East Coast to the West Coast. All around the world, you're hearing 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 TTT parties that's going on Monday through Friday. So if you haven't attended a TTP, you need to make sure that you are on the email list at winwith10.com so that you can get all the updates on where these TTP parties are taking place. And if there's not one in your area, then guess what? That means it's time for you to host one. And I'm telling you, when you do your first TTP, you are going to be so addicted. It is going to be so enlightening. And I'm going to tell you, and we say it, even if it's 1 or 2 people, if it's 2 or 3 people that show up at your TTP, it does not matter, because that 1 or 2 or 2 or 3 people are going to go into 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. Start where you are, but whatever you do, you have to get started. Have your first TTP, have your grand opening at your very own home, and invite your friends to share about the vitamin sprays. And like we always say, if you don't have a testimony, then use someone else's testimony. And then the video tools that we have. I'm so grateful that Vincent's going to come. He's going to set up a date where we can all tune in and watch how easy it is to send out a video email, or to set up your video channel or your web show or the video call. These tools are just going to help to take your business to the next level. Market and brand who you are. Market and brand those vitamin sprays, and get your message across the globe. You're going to go from around the corner to around the world with just one click of the button. That's going to put us way ahead of our competitors. And with that being said, let us welcome to the call my business partner, Pastor Del Wafer. Are you there, sir?
I am here. I'm here. Welcome everybody to the call. Glad to have you on for this beautiful Wednesday. It's hump Wednesday, it's the middle of the week, and we're excited about it. But you know what? Hump Wednesday used to be a tough time when you're in the workplace. People say, oh, wow, it's the middle of the week. We got to get going. I don't know how I'm going to make it to the weekend. So you get to work on Monday, you get going, then Wednesday seems to be like it's the toughest time because it's the middle of the week. But you know what? Hump Wednesday has become a joyous time at TEI because it's payday. So we're excited about Wednesday. We don't be frowning on Wednesday no more. We're excited about Wednesday because it's payday Wednesday. So we're really excited about that. And you're absolutely right about, big things happen at big events. Announcements are made, encouragement is made, and you have to just do as Mel said. You have to decide whether or not you're all in. You don't see me, but I'm jumping. It says you're all in. Are you all in? Because my son has a business that he started, and he's having some difficulty lining up customers and things of that nature, and so I'm his business coach, so he calls me every day, and I told him, I said, hey, this is the challenge that you have of doing it yourself. That's why so many people don't do it. So many people just sign up and go punch the clock, and if that's your thing, that's great. Go ahead and do it. But if you're an entrepreneur, you got to understand that you have to motivate yourself. There's nobody calling you to motivate you in the morning. You have to motivate yourself. You got to get out there. You got to hustle. You got to deal with the obstacles. But you have to decide if you're going to be successful in your business, that you got to be all in. And so that's the same thing applies here with our business. We have to decide that we're all in. And you can notice people that who haven't made that decision yet, because they're not connecting to, the calls. They're not connecting to their local TTPs. They're not connected to the big events that take place, the West Coast Regional, the East Coast Tour. They're not connecting with any of those, and those people have not made a decision to be all in. So, your behavior speaks louder than your words. And if you're not connecting to your local TTPs, if you're not connecting to your business partners, if you're not staying connected to the vital veins of information that comes from the company, you're really all in yet. And so, what I was saying, don't fail because you're not connected or you're not being connected. Make a decision to be all in so that you can say, you know what, if I fail, it won't be because I wasn't all in. And that's why those big meetings, those big events are so important. That's why Mel said, just flip it off your shoulder. When you hear negative stuff, just flip it off your shoulder, plant your flag, and say, you know what, I'm all in. And I'm excited because, we have great people every day who comes on this call, talk about their business and talk about their excitement, and they're saying to us, we're all in, and we got another great one here today.
We sure do. We're going to go ahead and bring on another great leader to the call, Pastor Dale. And we met this beautiful lady in California. See, that's why big events are so important, because we get to talk to each other on the tel call. We meet each other through Facebook and other social medias. But it's nothing like coming together and putting the face with the voice and just being able to embrace one another and see the person that you've been bonding with over the weeks. And so it was just such a joy when this young lady walked up to us and introduced herself. I was just so overwhelmed. I just embraced her. It was just such a lovely moment to meet another great leader here in Team Effort Network. So let us welcome to the call. She's on Memo's team. She's a great leader, great trainer, and she's going to talk with us about a few things. And this is Miss Cheryl Martinez. Cheryl, are you there?
I am, Pastor Denise. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Cheryl, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I'm so honored to be on your call. Thank you very much.
Cheryl, it's so good to have you here. And we're going to let you go ahead and open up and share some wonderful things with us. And I know that you're going to speak with our listeners today of how to get out of that comfort zone, because you have your own story on how you were pushed out of your comfort zone and the reward for moving outside your borders and getting outside of the comfort zone. So go ahead, Cheryl, take it over.
Great. Thank you, Denise. I told Denise I really wanted to share this story at the West Coast Regional, but when I got on stage, I was so nervous that I didn't share the story. So after listening to Nikisha yesterday, I thought, let me reach out to Denise because I really want to share with people a story about what happened to me. So I joined PEN in the beginning of April, and I was very fortunate that my three daughters, who are in their 20s, saw the vision, and they saw what positioning and timing was, and they were very excited about the story. So I was very fortunate. They joined. A handful of my really close friends joined. So in the beginning, it was easy. And then as the weeks went on, you contact your people in your contact list and other friends and family, and, you get the no's and you get the maybes and so forth. So, after about 60 days into it, I thought, okay, I need to try something else. And I still work full-time in corporate America, so I'm doing 10 as much as I can and working full-time. So I had talked to Memo, and he said that, Robert Hickens and him had attended a couple of meetups. They went to a couple of meetups at meetup.com. I don't know if any of you are familiar with those, but you can Google it. It's meetup.com. And you just look for different meetups in your area. So I put in, the vicinity that I would want to go to one of the meetings, and I just looked for ones that sounded like there might be like-minded individuals there, and so forth. So I found one that said that they were looking for people that were entrepreneurs to do not network marketing but networking, and just to gather at a casual meetup on a Friday evening. So I signed up for it, and one of my daughters was going to go with me, but she had something come up with my granddaughter or my grandson that night. So it was a Friday after work. I'm tired. I've been doing 10. I've been working full time, and I thought, I'm just going to go. So it was on my way home from work, and I went to the meetup, and I met this gentleman, and everybody was just so nice. They were all in startup businesses, so they were all entrepreneurs. They were not in network marketing, but they were so open to listen to what I had to share about 10, and then I just was learning so much from them on what they're going through to get their businesses off the ground. And it was just a really nice evening, very casual environment. And this gentleman walked up to me, and he was he's in his mid-60s, and he shared with me his story, and he just has a very emotional story of where he came from. And what he's doing is he's starting, he has a garden grows, that's what his business is. He's trying to get that off the ground, where he's promoting these organic tomato plants to have children grow them so that they can eat more healthy and give back to the communities and so forth. So I had this wonderful conversation with him, but I really didn't think, I was judging, I guess, or stereotyping. I thought, he's not going to want to do network marketing. But we had this great conversation, and we exchanged information, and in the weeks after, just like Pastor Dale said yesterday, we had lunch. I gave him a D3 because he had a really bad cold. He talked about not being able to sleep. And so basically, we just had some great conversations over the phone in the weeks after that. And then when Memo was able to we have a small office now in Concord that we're hosting our TTPs Monday through Friday. And remind me at the end, and I'll give you that address. And so when we opened the office a few weeks ago, we were having kind of like a grand opening, and I reached out to Thomas and invited him. And so I said, feel free to bring someone. I don't know if it's what what you want to do, but at least if you want to come and hear what I'm doing. So he said, oh, yes. He said, I have a friend, and he's in Amway. He said he's been trying to get me to join Amway. So he invited the gentleman, and his name's Kenny, and they came to the TTP. And after the presentation, Kenny, which is the gentleman who I met's friend, turned back to me, and he said, I want in. And I almost hyperventilated. I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is just crazy. So I was beside myself. I couldn't even breathe. And then Memo wasn't able to be there that night, but Raul, one of the gentlemen that's doing our Super Saturday trainings, he was there, and it was very exciting. And Kenny was so excited that he wanted us to go down the street to his apartment complex, which is this very, very nice apartment complex that has this awesome clubhouse where he'll be hosting his own TTP. So he was so excited that he wanted to show us this clubhouse. I was just beside myself. As I'm driving there, I'm calling Memo. I'm saying, oh my gosh, Kenny wants to join. Thomas is going to join too. And, it was just an amazing thing. And then with that, by me coming out of my comfort zone and going to this meetup.com by myself, I've never been to one. I didn't know what I was doing. But so that's the story I wanted to share. Just try different things. Whether it be going to a Chamber of Commerce meeting, which I want to do that as well, just things like that. And then the part that is now even more exciting is that Kenny, he's from a country called Burma, which is right next to Thailand. Mm-hmm. And Kenny is going to Burma in January. And he shared with me that his family has a small hospital in Burma. So you can only imagine what these sprays will do in this country, where they're much more open to Eastern medicine there anyway. So I was able to take Kenny last week, and we were able to go and meet with Mel at the corporate office to talk about what entails getting licensing in another country. And it's very, very interesting to hear Mel talk about getting the licensing in other countries, because Mel's already done it. He's in over 42 countries, 43 countries with my video talk. And so when you hear Mel talk about it, it's so exciting. And, he said, yeah, I already have, licensing for my video talk in Thailand. I'll talk to the attorneys about Burma. And it was amazing to hear that side of it. And for me, I have maybe one relative outside of California, so I don't know anybody in Thailand or Burma or anything like that. And now the fact that my business partner and I'm going to have, a business that's now going to be in Burma, which I had never heard of, is the melting pot that Mel talks about. So it's not who you know, it's who they know, and it's just extremely, extremely exciting, and it all makes sense now. So I just was very excited to share that with all of you.
Wow. Wow. Boy, I tell you, Cheryl, you talk about coming out of your comfort zone. Boy, I tell you, one thing you said, I think that's such a powerful point to make, that when you went to corporate to speak with Mel, and you talked about licensing in another country, that Mel had already was already established. Like we have already 47 different offices and like 4 different parts of the globe. That we have a proven management system, a proven management team that has already gone, through knowing what these different countries and knowing all the different licenses that are needed in different countries. And that says a lot about Team Effort International, that we do have different offices in 47 different parts of the globe. So we do know what to do. I'm just so twisted in what I'm trying to say, when we are moving outside of our borders, even into other countries. So that was really a very powerful point. Pastor Dale, you have some questions for Cheryl?
Well, Cheryl, I tell you, that's a great, exciting story, and it goes back to what Mel has always said, is that there's people that that know other people that know people in other parts of the countries, other countries around the world. And
absolutely,
they're going to be very instrumental in getting these countries open. We have Anita in the UK. She's going to be very instrumental in getting the UK open to America, for 10. And this is a story of why being in this company now, before we launch, means everything for people. When we talk about timing, we're really talking about timing here, because you actually, right now, Cheryl, have the opportunity to have an international business, and the only thing you did was talk to one person who talked to another person. You didn't have to go file, for legal status and all of the stuff that you'd have to do if you open up a traditional business in Burma. You just talked to one person, talked to another person, and said, hey, we can get this done. And that's the great thing about what we have here, guys, is because you actually right now have an opportunity, by being involved really early on, to actually have people in your business who are going to be in other countries, who are opening other countries. Can you imagine, at some point as Burma opens up and, 10,000 people come into business in Burma under Kenny, what that means for you, Cheryl? I mean, that's just amazing. This is so great. The product is great product, and the compensation is great. But guys, the best thing we have going is timing. That's the best thing we have going in a new company that's going to go global.
Another great thing, Cheryl, we get a chance to hear your story, before you get to that level. A lot of times we read about great success stories, people who've made it really big, but we're usually not there at the beginning of their success. So being here, and this goes with everyone that's a Team Effort Network. Like Mel said, the first millionaire has not been made yet. But here we are at the beginning of everyone making their fortunes, and we're going to be able to tell people exactly how it was done. You made a phone call. You added one. You responded to one ad. You heard Robert. Robert Hickens said, to go to meetup.com, right? You got that instruction from Robert, correct?
Yes, I did.
So he tells you to go to meetup.com. But the thing about it, you took action and you did it. Because Robert's been telling that to many people. But I wonder how many people have actually done it. Well, you did it. Right. As a result of you going to meetup.com, meeting with people, and not prejudging them. Because a lot of times we'll prejudge people, thinking, they're not going to do it. They don't have the money. You're kind of thinking for them. And then you listen to their story. And then you invited them to the TTP, and now look at what has happened. Look what's happening from that.
Absolutely, Denise. That's exactly what happened. And so I just want people to know, just try different things. I mean, listening to Nikisha yesterday, I'm still working on the part about if I'm in a restaurant or I'm in a store. That part I'm still working on, but the meetup was just a great environment because everybody, they were so like-minded. They were excited about what you had to share. I was excited to listen to what they had to share, and so it was just such a positive environment with like-minded people.
Wow. Wow, Cheryl, very powerful. Thank you for sharing that with us, and I'm pretty sure that people are going to meetup.com right now, even as we speak.
Right. And you know, not a lot of them will say that it's a group of network marketers, but it'll say, you know, a group of people that are entrepreneurs or startup businesses, and you just go and you just network, and like Pastor Dale said, you just go and you talk, and it's a good experience, I think, too, just to learn how to have conversations with people, and to get out of your immediate circle, you know, family and friends and things like that. So it's very powerful, very powerful. I did want to quickly give the address for Concord, so that you guys, anybody can send anyone our way. I know we have a lot of people in Oakland that are on the call. We do have a small office now that Memo was able to get from a previous business partner. So it's 1070 Concord Avenue, Suite 275 in Concord. And I'm on the Tenacious Generation Facebook page. If you want to inbox me, I can give you my phone number and so forth. But we're doing English on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, and Spanish Monday, Thursday, and Friday. So Memo is taking the Spanish and just, blowing it out of the water. So we are there Monday through Friday, and I just wanted to give you that information. I am at my corporate job now, so I have to go in and unfortunately sit in my cubicle all day, but that's only temporary, right?
That's right. But while you're there, you share. Do like Amy Go says, make sure you're sharing even while you're there.
Absolutely. So thank you, Pastor Denise and Pastor Dale, and I'll still be listening to the rest of the call, but I do have to go in, so I wouldn't be able to talk once I'm inside.
Okay, Cheryl, thank you so much. Thank you. We'll be looking to get the information out about Memo's TTP, and thank you for sharing, Cheryl. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Wow, Pastor Dale, that was amazing. Was it not amazing?
Well, you know, you hear it here. You know, you hear, as you said, Pastor Denise, how, you know, you're going to hear about these names, you know. You're going to hear about these names, you know, down the road, you know, months and years down the road. You know, I think about Britt and Drexel and these guys who were with, you know, Amway when they first started out, large companies, and these large individuals who have been there with them, you know, 30, 40 years. They're legends in the industry because they understood positioning, they understood timing, they understood what it meant to get with a company and stay with that company, to stay loyal, even through all the ups and downs, you know. None of us, 10, TEI, Herbalife, none of these companies, New Skin, none of these companies would be what they are today if it wasn't for the groundwork that company like Amway did. Amway paved the ground. They sued the government. They made sure that we were a legitimate business. They did so much. And as a result of that, now we can hear this next generation has an opportunity through TEI and Team Effort Network and my video talk. We have an opportunity to take the next 20 years and do what they did in 50. We can do it in 15. I mean, that is so phenomenal now that we have, you know, the twos. But it requires people just focusing on their business, being all in. And it requires that you don't get sidetracked by the bumps in the road. Yeah. You know, you just say, you know what? I'm in. You know, I'm in for the long term. I'm in for the long vision. You know, when Mel and Amy started this company in 2002, you know, they knew that they were going to have a whole lot of hiccups and a whole lot of bumps. Mm-hmm. But you know, guys, 8 years later, they were in 68 countries around the world. Yeah. So you got to think long term. You can't think, 6 months at a time. You got to think years at a time. What is this business going to mean for you 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road? Remember why you joined it. Remember that you wanted to create a financial security fence around your home. You wanted to take back your life. You wanted to take back your health. Remember that as we talk about staying focused on the long-term goal.
You know, I'm with you, Pastor Dale, and staying focused is so important. That's one of the main ingredients for success. You know, we keep hearing these main ingredients on the course of greatness. Nikisha brought a slew of them to us yesterday. And even Cheryl mentioned, not prejudging. You just can't prejudge the person you're speaking with. You just never know the situation. But one thing I can say about Melanie McGill, they have been in the industry for 23 years, full time. You're going to hear me say that over and over again because that's saying a lot. They have been doing this 23 years. Like Amy said, this is their baby. They know the ins and the outs, the ups and the downs. They've seen people come and they've seen people go. They've seen people come back and they've seen people go. So they've seen it all. They've done it all. They've been doing it full time. And I know that they know exactly what they're doing. And that speaks a lot about Team Effort International. Just the experience that they're bringing alone to the table. And they're always watching out for the reps. They're always watching out for us because in heart, Melanie and McGill are always going to be representatives. They started off as reps, so they know exactly where we are. They didn't start off with someone giving them, starting off at the top. They started from the bottom and they worked it. And now look at where they are, and look at the lives of many people that are being changed throughout the globe. So I'm happy to be here, as well as many others, to be a part of Team Effort International, My Video Talk, and Team Effort Network. And so, like Mel says, are you all in? Because I am all in. We are in it to win it. So with that being said, I think that's it for today. Another wonderful call. I know that we have heard something that has moved us from facts to faith to action. I don't know if my brother Kevin Vaughn is on the line today to bring us the quote for today. Kevin, are you there? And if not, Anita Poole, we haven't heard from you, since Monday. Do you have a quote for today, Miss Anita Poole from the UK?
I certainly do. Can you hear me okay, Denise?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Quote for today.
Okay, so I'm actually going to quote Mel. Mel, I learned a lot from Mel. One day he said on one of the calls, you can't say the wrong thing to the right people, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong people. It's a business of sifting and sorting, he said. It's a business of inviting and sifting and sorting. So it's all about, exactly as Nikisha said yesterday and Cheryl has said today, it's about networking, going to places, talking to people, and just introducing the concept of TEN and MVT. If they're the right people, something will click. If they're the wrong people and it's the wrong time for them, something won't click. And it's all about teamwork and belief and dreams, basically. So Michael Jordan said there are plenty of teams in every sport that have great players and never win titles. Most of the time, those players aren't willing to sacrifice for the greater good of the team. The funny thing is, in the end, their unwillingness to sacrifice only makes individual goals more difficult to achieve. One thing I believe to the fullest, said Michael Jordan, is that if you think and achieve as a team, the individual accolades will take care of themselves. Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. So it's all about being all in and working together as a team. An anonymous quote actually is that none of the legends sitting on top of the world were born there. Instead, they were happy to climb the success ladder. So anyone saying to any of us, come here, I'll offer you this, do this, come with me, I'm going to do this, etc., etc., that's very short-term thinking, because if we all want to be real legends, it's all about patience, persistence, and perspiration. Napoleon Hill said, a goal is a dream with a deadline. Patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. There's no short-term offer that actually is going to give long-term residual income, where with the right company,